What if the reason you're not enjoying motherhood is sitting in your hand right now? Not just because it pulls your attention away, but because it's quietly draining your energy, it's wrecking your sleep, and it's making everything feel harder than it should. Scrolling while your kids play, zoning out, feeling overstimulated, but still somehow completely exhausted. If that feels familiar, there's a reason. In this video, I'll show you what's actually going on, why it's affecting how you feel day to day, and the one shift that changes everything. I've gone from feeling mentally fried and disconnected to calm, present, and actually enjoying motherhood again. And it all came down to one thing. I want to be clear. I'm not talking about this from some perfect, balanced lifestyle. If you're new, my name's Erica, and I live off grid on a homestead with 3 little kids. My husband works away a lot, so my days are very real, very full, and often very on my own. And in that kind of life, I had to figure out how to actually enjoy motherhood, not just survive it, because it is my life 24/7. And what I realized is the problem isn't just distraction, it's what that constant distraction is actually doing underneath the surface, plus the physiological effects of the technology that I'm using. But first, let's talk about what this actually looks like. Your phone pulls you out of your real life. It's really hard to enjoy motherhood when you feel like you're only half in it. For me, it looked like being with my kids physically, same house, same room, but not really there mentally because of how dependent I was on my phone and how addicted I was. My daughter would be talking to me and I'd say, yeah, without actually processing what she said. And she'd correct me because it didn't even make sense, as a response to what she said. And when I finally pulled my eyes away from my screen and looked at her, I could see the complete frustration on her face. It was so obvious to her that I wasn't paying attention to her, and that made me feel horrible because I knew to her it felt like I just didn't care. But what was even worse is I'd feel that guilt, but still find myself reaching for my phone again over and over without even thinking about it. And after many of these types of moments happening, I started to realize this wasn't a discipline problem, this was a habit problem. I didn't have healthy habits and boundaries established for myself around the use of my phone. Because once I started creating even a tiny bit of separation from my phone, that natural connection with my kids started coming back on its own. And it wasn't something I had to force. And those frustrating situations where I felt like I was neglecting my children happened way less often. And I'll show you exactly how I started creating that, like the simple habits and boundaries I put around my phone. But if you're feeling so drained that even figuring out how to fix this feels overwhelming, I have a really simple 3-day energy reset challenge linked below that helps you start getting your energy back right away. So before we get into the how, there's a second reason this is happening, because it's easy to think this is just about distraction, but there's actually more factors going on here. It changes what your brain finds enjoyable. When your brain is used to constant stimulation, then normal life stops feeling as good. It looked like even really simple moments like sitting outside or watching my kids play just kind of fell flat. They didn't feel bad, they just weren't that enjoyable. And I'd catch myself thinking about my phone or reaching for my phone without even wanting to, just because it's what I did. I was in the habit. And the shift here was realizing that nothing was wrong with those moments. Something was wrong with my brain because of how I had been training it. My brain had just gotten used to higher levels of stimulation. And when I lowered that even a little, those same types of moments started to feel great again. Now, it's not just how things feel in the moment, it also affects how your brain is functioning all day long. Using your phone keeps your brain in a constant distracted state. You can't feel calm if your brain never fully settles down. It wasn't even the long scrolling sessions, it was the constant checking, even when there wasn't a notification going off, right? A few seconds here, oh, I wonder if I got anything. And then again, a few minutes later, then again, all day. And I never fully settled into what I was doing, so I just felt like a complete scatterbrain. And I was a complete scatterbrain. So establishing some clear boundaries around my phone allowed me to still use my phone, but to significantly reduce the amount of time that I was checking it, especially when I really had no reason to check it. Even creating small pockets of uninterrupted time without my phone started to make a difference. And when your brain stays in that state all day long, it doesn't just boop, turn off at night. It is disrupting your sleep. Better days start with quality sleep, and this is where a lot of moms don't realize they're accidentally working against themselves. I would be scrolling after the kids went to bed when I was already exhausted as a way to wind down, right? And then feeling wired when I tried to fall asleep. And it often led to me going to bed later than I meant to. And then I'd wake up feeling like I didn't fully rest. And part of that was what was happening physically. That blue light from my phone signaled to my brain that it was still daytime, the middle of the day. So it delayed melatonin, which is what helps us to all fall asleep. Then on top of that, I was getting these quick little dopamine hits, scrolling, new content, totally different subjects. My brain going a million different directions, so it kept my brain stimulated when it should have been winding down. So even though I was physically tired, my brain was on, not ready to rest and recover. Now, the changes that I made were not drastic. It was just creating a little space at night, even a short buffer without my phone. And that alone made it so much easier for my body to actually relax and fall asleep. So now, instead of starting the day already behind, I was actually starting it feeling refreshed and energized, ready to go. So, this is why everything feels harder. When your capacity is lower, everything in motherhood is harder. So, when you put all of this together, the constant distraction, the overstimulation, your brain not finding normal moments enjoyable, and your sleep being off, this is what it starts to look like. Less patience with your kids, getting overwhelmed more easily, reacting to things that normally, in your logical mind shouldn't be a big deal, or just feeling completely drained, even on days that weren't actually that hard, if you admit it to yourself. I needed more capacity to be the nurturing, fun, present mom that I wanted to be, and all of those facets of phone usage were just draining my capacity without me even realizing it. I learned that when I created boundaries for myself around using my phone, my capacity for what I was capable of and what I had the energy for was much, much greater. Our phones, we all know this, are such powerful magnets that just merely trying harder to not use them is not enough. You need a clear plan. So, how do you actually do this? Let's talk about that. You need simple boundaries. They will protect your energy and presence. I talk all the time on this channel about how tiny changes, if done consistently, will make a bigger difference than you think. And that is the way to successfully change what you're doing long term. It's the same with phone usage. Small boundaries create big shifts. And I've said this before. I like my phone. It's useful. I get inspiration from the content I view on it. I wasn't going to get rid of it, but I had to stop letting it take over my life and my brain. So instead of trying to use it less, in a vague way, I just put a few really clear boundaries in place. The first is I don't start or end my day with my phone. It stays out of my bedroom. It charges in the kitchen, so it's not even an option to grab it first thing in the morning or to scroll before bed. And that change alone made a huge difference. No notifications were waking me up at night. I didn't have that stimulation right before going to sleep, and I wasn't starting my day in a reactive state. When I wake up, I have a couple of other habits in place that I do right after I wake up. So I'm not going to my phone. I grab a cup of water, I drink a full glass, and I step outside for a couple minutes to get some natural daylight in my eyes. And after I do that, I reach for my phone. And it's for a very specific purpose, which is to open up YouTube and do a 5 or 10-minute yoga stretch. Or if it's a day that I'm strength training, I open up my app that I use for that. That's it. It's just a very clear plan so I don't fall into that scrolling ditch. So you obviously don't have to do the same routine as me, but you do need a clear plan so you don't fall into that ditch first thing in the morning. Second thing is I don't sit down just to scroll because I know exactly how that goes. I'll sit down for a few minutes, right? And suddenly a huge chunk of time is gone and I feel terrible. So instead, I only consume content during things I'm already doing. Like I watch a YouTube video while I'm doing dishes because I'm already just standing in one place, or listen to a podcast while I'm cooking or folding laundry. That way I still get to enjoy content. I learn new things and I get to be inspired by other people, but it's not stealing time and energy from me. Third thing is I pay attention to when it's affecting my kids. One thing I started noticing was that if my kids were struggling more with listening or needing more attention, a lot of the time it lined up with when I was distracted by my phone. So now I treat that as a signal. If I see that change in them, I double down on less phone usage. The fourth rule is no scrolling before bed. This one was hard at first, but when I learned about all the reasons why it was making my sleep worse, I wanted to stop. And I had to be honest with myself. It never even felt that good. It was just a habit, and I hadn't planned anything better to do, so I ended up doing it. So instead, I started replacing it with things that actually help me wind down. Reading, stretching, or just being there and looking around. And none of this was extreme, okay? It was just a few small boundaries that really made a big difference in how my days felt. And what that creates is what most moms are actually looking for and missing right now, which is contentment, joy, and fulfillment. Implementing these boundaries will change your experience of motherhood. Now I feel calmer, I'm more present, way less scatterbrained, more energetic, and I actually enjoy time with my kids. And I end the day feeling like I was really there for it. Nothing about your kids or your home has to change, just your capacity as a mom. And if that feels really far off right now, go start that energy reset challenge. It's a really simple, unintimidating place to start building your energy up in a doable way. So you can join that below. And if you want to go even deeper into why you're feeling so drained and what will actually help, watch this video next.